How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Data here, and welcome back to our MLB The Show 23 live franchise mode series with the Pittsburgh Pirates headed into the 2024 off-season. Now, as always, we'll go ahead and get started at the 5-minute mark in the top left corner if you're watching after the fact. If you're watching live, we'll just go ahead and welcome everyone in over the next few minutes. It should be a good off-season, as the title says. Big fish for two reasons. Number one, I believe that we are a big team. We're getting into that next echelon here in the MLB as we're coming off of a 90-plus win season. We unfortunately got swept out of the wild card. I think that we are a young team with pieces that are only getting better, as opposed to year number one where we had overperforming older pieces. We have great younger pieces that are getting in there. We had Gary De Silva, second runner-up for the Cy Young, Rookie of the Year last year, 19 years of age, a fantastic pitcher. So we'll have him. We have many other players in our system, and I think that we're going to be a desirable destination for some of the big fish who will be available in free agency. So buckle up. Thank you for joining us this evening. Landon, first one in. Good to see you, buddy. I thought of you when Joe Pavelski scored in overtime last night. We'll go ahead and get started at the 5-minute mark in the top left corner. As per usual, the MLB offseason episode isn't quite as long. A lot of housekeeping to do, signing the depth players and stuff like that. But we'll have some fun with it and see if we can get especially some outfield help in free agency. Yeah? Papa Joe, baby. Yes, sir. Let's see. Speaking of Pittsburgh and franchise modes, the Penguins, I was hoping to have the Penguins franchise mode out for tomorrow. But unfortunately, if you're in the Discord server, Dabrowski-Ego, good to see you, buddy. If you're in the Discord server, you would have seen more EA voodoo holding me back a little bit. Because it's a messy draft, I'm trying to get Bedard to the Blackhawks. I'm trying to keep things realistic. There were some things that went wrong, and I basically have to re-record the entire episode. Not the entire episode, just the comments at the beginning I'll be able to keep, but the franchise mode episode itself has to be redone. So that'll be my weekend plans right there. It'll probably come out, hopefully, hoping for it at the very latest to be out on Monday. Yeah. There you go. Description, tags, all that good stuff. Thumbnail, we're ready to rock and roll. And we'll just wait for some more to get in here. As per usual, I wouldn't say it's the highest grossing series. Not always the most people who are watching live. I don't think we ever have more than maybe 10, 15 people live. Ends up usually about 200 views end up coming per episode. So I know many of you are watching after the fact. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Line. I appreciate that. Just some EA voodoo getting in my way. Rebrand, again, not opposed to the rebrand, Dabrowski-Ego. I'd actually, there goes the phone. I would enjoy the rebrand, but I think just it would take about a good 20 plus 30 minutes of the stream. And as much as I've put it out there, no one's really said much aside from you and myself, Dabrowski-Ego. So I'm happy to do it. There's no limit on when it can happen. Just no one's really said, hey, I really want this. So if no one's really said, I really want this, I'm not going to eat up a half hour of the stream to get it done. If there does come a time where people say, hey, let's go ahead and do it. We've had the big Pirates P for a while. Let's go back to the old Pirate. We'll go ahead and do it. But I don't know, for the 2024 off season, it seems like we're going to keep things as they've been. So we'll be starting off with our exclusive free agent negotiations. We're looking at getting a new manager, new hitting coach. Rebranding the team is something that we'll likely wait on. And then free agency 1 begins in 6 days. Hope everyone had a lovely week. It was a crazy one for me, actually. I sprained the old ankle. Putting a little of a personal note in here as we're about a minute away from starting. Sprained the old ankle. First time that happened to me in my life. Honestly, I'm very lucky. I'm blessed. That's the most serious injury I think I've ever had. It was about a grade 2 strain, 2/3. So I was on crutches at the start of the week, and I'm feeling about 80-85% now, which is good. But it's been quite the eventful week. Work was eventful. Doing it on crutches for a little bit was eventful. But now I'm glad to have this here. Friday night live stream means that I made it through another week, and hopefully it means the same for you as well. Water's ready to go. We'll get started in just a few seconds. I'm very excited to see what the free agent class will be as well. Three, two, one, and here we go. Let's get this party started, ladies and gentlemen. As we left off in the last episode, in our exclusive free agents, some of our older players who we will likely be who will allow them to walk. A guy like Charlie Blackmon, it would be cool to keep him, but he's 38 now. His overall continues to drop. He did well enough. He had under 500 at-bats, but he was pretty much an everyday guy for us. 15 home runs. He bat 265. It was fun to have him. It's just probably time to move on from guys like Charlie Blackmon, Carlos Santana. Now, Ji-Man Choi, he was extremely clutch. Very, very clutch in those moments where we had him pinch hit and stuff like that. He bat 262 with 225 at-bats. Not a big power guy, really, despite the power continues to drop a little bit. Not a huge power guy, but wouldn't mind replacing the first base depth of Santana with Ji-Man Choi. Carlos Santana didn't end up playing for us this past season. Better contact, but really just be like a lefty platoon guy. So I think we're going to go ahead and let Santana and Blackmon walk. Reynaldo Lopez, let's go ahead and start at the top here according to overall. Reynaldo Lopez did very well this last season. He had 10 holds, 2 saves, 4 blown saves, but a 3.18 ERA, 1.28 whip. Not bad numbers for Reynaldo, who we had from free agency, I believe. Because he was with the White Sox before. So, Reynaldo Lopez, I'd like to keep him if possible. He wouldn't be depth, he would be bullpen. So if I tell you, listen, Reynaldo, I'll give you 1 or 2 years. He wants 2 years, 4.9. I could do 2 years, 9.5, paying him 4.8 per year. What would you say to 2 years, 9.2? Actually, no. No, 2 years, 9 million. I think let's try 2 years, 9 million. And worst case, he doesn't like it, and we can try to play around with it. 2 years, 9 million. Is that enough on the interest bar? I don't know, because Pirates don't have a qualifying offer must be tendered in order to receive a draft pick compensation. So let's wait a few days, see if he signs it. If not, then we can always try and qualify. But let's go ahead and offer that contract. Blackmon will let him walk. Garcia, he was good the last 2 years. Despite his overall, he was good the last couple of years. So Garcia, I'd like to sign him as well. I don't want to give him crazy term or anything like that. I think another 1 year thing is good. I'll put you bullpen for 1 year, and I'm willing to offer you I'll give you $2 million. 1 year, $2 million on Garcia. Ji-Man Choi, G-Man, let's bring him back for another 1 year deal. He wants 2.2. He would be depth. I'm not going to go ahead and lie to him. I'll give you 1 year at 2.5 even. That's how good you were. 1 year, 2.5. Carlos Santana will let him walk. And Andrew McCutchen, we know we got to bring back McCutchen. His overalls really took a beating this season. He bat 235 at 358 at-bats. He was really hot at one point, then he really cooled down. 12 home runs. Yeah, but we got to keep him. Captain Clutch. So Andrew McCutchen, 1 year. He'll be depth. I'll call him depth this season. 1 year, 1.7. So let's advance a few days and see if they like that. In a moment, actually, though. So we got to go ahead and look at hiring a manager. I would love to get an A-rated manager if possible. Fielding, durability, power, walks per 9. Anyone else who's A? Everyone else is B. A here. Speed, fielding, bunting, drag bunting, negative doesn't matter, but those pluses don't matter either. Reaction speed, I don't care about really any of these attributes. A, plate vision, home runs, low on blocking. I don't care about that, but I don't really care about arm accuracy or plate vision either. Any other A's out here? A few A's. Did I miss one? A's, control, -2, can't do that. Drag bunting, plate discipline, control. Now, I think I'm going to go with that guy who's at the top here. Who A? And brings me back here. Can I go back to the top, please? All the way at the top. It was this guy. No, it was this guy. Yeah, fielding, durability, power, and walks per 9. James Molina. So James Molina, buddy, I'd love to bring you on board. I'll go ahead. You want 3 years? He wants 2 to 4 years. So 3 years, he wants 4.6 per year. I'll give you. You got to sign these guys to a lot of money, or else they sign with other players. I'll give you 5.5. 3 years at 16.5 million. That should be a lot of interest. Come on, we got to go ahead and throw some budget out here to get a good manager. Last year, our manager was just on a 1 year deal. Hitting coach now. A good hitting coach for us. I don't like the -2 clutch. I don't like that. +3 bunting doesn't really help me much either. Drag bunting, plate vision, clutch, and power. That could be good. +2 power, clutch, plate discipline, plate vision. Do I want 3 vision, 1 clutch? or 1 vision, 1 clutch, and 1 discipline. And that might be good for when we go into the simulation. Let's try this. Andy Haynes, 3 years at 1.8 per year, at 5.5 million. We've got to get some good managers here in the system. We've got to make our players want to be here. So let's go ahead and advance a day, or even 2 days. James Molina goes to the Red Sox! Come on! I'm giving amazing offers! This guy still, Andy Haynes, still the best offer there. Manager. Man, manager. Ozzie Timmons has an offer. -1 stealing, -2 walks per 9. No, I don't care about that. Anyone else who's A-rated? Come on, don't tell me it's going to be like last offseason here. Speed, fielding, and bunting, but -1 breaker. We're just going to do another 1-year manager type of thing. This guy's plate vision, velocity, stealing. I don't care that much. Stealing, plate vision, control, reaction speed, plate discipline, +3 stealing. All right, I guess we're going to be a team of speed. Clifford Hennessy. There you go. 2 years. So I'm not committing to you. 2 years at 4.5 million. Come on now. Ridiculous. Exclusive free agents. Lopez, we're still waiting on him. And Garcia as well, but McCutcheon signed on. So Lopez, I'm going to withdraw the offer. I'll give you 2 years at 9.5. And your bullpen. Let's try to go up 500K. Garcia, 1 year, 2 mil is still a good offer. So let's advance another couple days. Still nothing. Great. And free agency starts in 2 days. Still waiting on my staff members. Advance another day. Clifford Hennessy, thank you. Stop simulating. So I'm still waiting on my hitting coach here. We're still the best and only offer. Come on, Andy Haynes. Come on now. Still waiting on these guys. All right, so I guess I'll have to tender a qualifying offer. But that's 1 year, 20 million? Nah, of course that's not going to happen. No, that's not. I'm not going to give him a 1 year, $20 million deal. So of course he's not. If he does want to accept that, I'm trading him. But that's a joke. Garcia. I guess 1 year, 2 million is fair. So you want to play games? I guess we'll play games. Altuve signed a big contract in Houston. Wheeler with the Phillies. With the Phillies. Sorry, I'm misreading the logos. And Walker Buehler, big deal with the Dodgers. Advance another day. Andy Haynes is on as the hitting coach. Thank you very much. Now here we are in free agency. Some of the big names. Ooh, Corbin Burns, Shane Bieber, Juan Soto. Oh my goodness. So we're still waiting on Reynaldo Lopez. But we'll have to select the 40-man roster. We'll have to look at salary arbitration. There's a lot of things to look at in this offseason. Brian Reynolds, for example, I'd love to go ahead and sign him long-term. We have him under arbitration rights for this next year, so we could go 1 year and do arbitration, but I wouldn't mind just signing him to a big deal. I don't know, do we really need this money this season? He'd be willing to go 1 year, 8.5, while 2 years plus is 35 million. So you know what? I think it does make sense to go 1 year. Arbitration. Let's go offer arbitration. Last year made 6.75. But I don't even need to do arbitration. If he's interested in doing a 1 year deal at whatever million, yeah, Juan Soto, that's big. We'll have to look at that. If he's willing to take 8.5 for 1 year, then I don't even need to go to arbitration. I don't want to fight to pay him 7 instead of 8. I'm happy to pay him 8. So even more. I'll pay you even more. You're a star, and I'm going to pay you, you want 8.5? I'll give you 9.5. 1 year, 9.5 on Brian Reynolds. Josh Rojas, we got in a trade with Diamondbacks. He had pretty solid average. Tic-tac, buddy. Long time no talk. Great to hear from you. Still recovering, I suppose, from the postseason. And even the donation from Dexter. Welcome, Dexter. Tic-tac, who are you going for now, buddy? We going Panthers, Vegas? Who are you going for now? I was thinking of you in the postseason. Rojas. I wouldn't mind him being an everyday guy. Second, short, left, right, third. He can go all over the place. 2 years. Yeah, I'm going to go 2 years on the Rojas. I'd be interested in doing 2 years on the Rojas. And I'd give him $2 million a year. I'd go 2 years, 4 mil. I could even do a bit less, 1.9. 2 years at 1.9, and he's an everyday guy. Yeah, let's do that for Rojas. Colby Allard. I loved having Colby Allard. He had really good numbers. We got him from Atlanta. He wasn't doing anything with the Braves. So he could be a part of our rotation, absolutely. We could go 3 years on him, but we do have some good pitching prospects coming up. So I'm gonna go 2 years actually. We'll call him depth because I don't want to overcommit, but he may very well be a rotation guy. And we'll offer him $3 million a year. Panthers are an incredible story. Just want a good final. None of this 4 or 5 games. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Let's not. If it's not the Stars, Panthers for sure. Yeah, that's fair. Panthers, such a crazy story. I'm trying to offload a couple of Panthers cards right now while they're hot as well. Brubaker, he's been with us his entire career. Is that it? This last season, 3.23 ERA. He was good. He could be good rotation / long relief. I'm going to go 1 year on him as well and call him depth, just not to overcommit. And we'll try to do 1 year at 4.3. Connor Joe, here's someone who may be walking. He did better this past season, 13 home runs, 50 RBI, 269 average at 132 at-bats, over 490 at-bats, got 132 hits. He does have a few years of arbitration, so it wouldn't be crazy to try a 1 year thing. 1 year, 1.5, platoon. He had a good second half of the year. We go 1 year, 1.7 platoon on Connor Joe. Yeah, let's try that. So there's some contracts. We'll see if they like any of them. Tender contracts now. We have some of our other players who are in the organization. These you don't have to think about too much. 1 year, 760, bang. Edgar Hernandez, 1 year, 90K, bang. Connor Joe, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. So Ji-Won Bae, he bat 246 in 297 at-bats, only stole 9 bases. He's there for his speed. His overalls are going up. There's a lot of improvement. I'm not sold on Ji-Won Bae, but I like seeing that improvement. So I'm going to call him depth even, because I could see him playing AAA. We're going to call him depth, and we're going to offer him 500K. 1 year in Ji-Won Bae. Andy Rodriguez, of course, our catcher with 8 potential. Let's keep him renewable. 1 year, 700K, call him platoon, no problem. Luis Ortiz hasn't been in the MLB at all through this franchise mode. He wants 780K. 72 is 26 years of age. Yeah, we could do that. He's even willing to take less than that. Ooh, let's go all the way down to 500K. Beautiful. Marcano. Yeah, of course, Marcano. Someone who we want to have some growth from, hopefully. We'll call him platoon. Try to save as much money as we can, wherever we can. This guy's another guy who wants 500K. Beautiful. Now here are the guys who are just willing to take 70K. 70K, 60K, 70K. I'm happy to sign all these guys. No questions asked. Hold on. What does this guy want? Johan Ramirez hasn't been in the MLB. 29, 67 overall. He wants, what was it? He wants 580K to be depth. 67 overall. His overall did go up. But he's not too impressed with that contract. He has 99 velocity, 96 break. I could do 1 year, 750. This guy, 70K. Cal Mitchell, 740. Cal Mitchell. Yeah, okay. We could do Cal Mitchell. Max Kranick, we've seen some good results from him. We'll do 1 year on him. Before we get into the fun stuff, which is free agency, just some of the stuff to take care of, as always. Oviedo, he did well in 2023, didn't play in 2024. He's 27 with deep potential, and he wants 760K. We call him depth. I don't mind, because relief pitchers, it's stats, or you get the same type of thing in free agency. It's not like there's anything much better that's out there. Lolo Sanchez, we definitely want to bring him back. Yeah. Connor Scott, 80K, yes sir. Ryan Weiss, we got him in the Rule 5 draft. B potential, he didn't have terrible numbers, but barely pitched. So we're going to go ahead and bring him back. Maybe he's in the AAA team next year, but at least we got him as a part of the squad now. We don't need to worry about him losing his rights or anything. Now that we got him, we played him for a full year in the MLB. Thomas, 50K. Crow, all these relief pitchers always want 700K, 500K. Will Crow, 30 years of age, deep potential. No, this guy I'm letting walk. Ryan Velade. What's so special about this guy? Nothing special. No, he's walking. Minaya. Oh, I like the 96 break there. But he's 34. Yeah, we'll let him walk. Malone. Brennan Malone. Can we bring him down a little bit? Yeah, definitely. Save where you can here. Come on now. Come on. You think I was born yesterday? Come on. 70K. Mason Martin, 60K. Chavez Young, 60K. Escoto, 60K. Gorski, 60K. Beautiful. Nunez, 70. Macias, 70. Ryan Leach, 50K. Smith and Jigba, 750. He's 25. Yeah, we could do that. Izert, 70. Sandoval. Patrick Sandoval, the commissioner. Patrick Sandoval, the Tom Selleck lookalike. He was our second round pick in 2023. Patrick Sandoval absolutely signed on. I think we gave too much to Kanan Smith here. Actually, no. Actually, that's exactly what he wants, eh? So, yeah, I'll give him what he wants. Gutierrez, 70K. Perdomo. Now, some of these younger players that we drafted are going to be needing contracts. Angel Perdomo. Was he one for 1 year? No, he's going to walk. Nathan Webb, 60K. Mendoza, 60K. Bins, 60K. That's true. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I said that name is really familiar. If I was saying it can't be this guy in the depth in the Pirates organization, I can't recognize his name. It's because he has a brother in the NFL. That's why. Yes. And it's cool to have the jerseys. Melendez, De Los Santos. Oh, hold on, De Los Santos. What do you want here? Your B potential 27. Not crazy numbers. No, I'm going to let you walk. I don't care about the B potential. I don't like those numbers. I don't like your attributes. Taribo, blah, blah, blah. All these guys on these 1-year contracts every year. Gonzalez, Samaniego, Chen. We're almost there. Yes. I think you had mentioned that either in a stream or in the Discord. I remember you had mentioned that. Basile Burke, A potential. Yep. Jonas Crosby, one of our draft picks. Yep. Scott DeVarco, Mark Hinojo. Great. So there are all those contracts offered. We'll wait and see on some of these guys. We have until quite a while on these guys, right? You have until December 2nd. So yeah, it's November 8th. We have quite a while on these guys. So I'll be curious to see who signs and for how much. Now free agency. When we look at our budget, we have about 110 million right now. Some money has already been spoken for with the manager or whatever else. But if we go to free agency, I mean, let's say we just try to send an offer. Let's just say to Corbin Burns, just for an example. We have projected surplus 73.63 if we sign this. So right now, 105 million surplus. Our total payroll is only 51.8 million. So I think our starting pitching is set. But as I mentioned in the last episode, we're definitely going to be looking at the outfield. We have Brian Reynolds at center field. Ian Happen left. Right field, we definitely need someone there. Our starting pitching, I'm content with our starting pitching. Brian Hayes at third, O'Neal Cruz at shortstop. First base is where we could use someone, because Connor Joe everyday first base, I don't like that. Rojas or Johnson at second, I'm okay with that. So first base, right field, and I don't know, maybe relief pitching's okay, I think. Maybe we were saying Bednar's out as the closer, right? My thoughts on him have dwindled a little bit. My anger towards him has phased out a tad. But let's see who's available. Definitely first base and right field. And when we go ahead and look at first base, we see Pete Alonso, Paul Goldschmidt, Christian Walker, Brandon Drury as the 80-plus overalls. Tellez, Rizzo, and if we go look in right field, Anthony Santander. But all these outfielders can be moved all over the place. Like Juan Soto could play in right field. Would it be too crazy to bring in Juan Soto? I don't know. He only bat 280 last year, but he did have 39 home runs. Tyler O'Neill, also very interesting. He bat 248. Santander bat 268 with 48 home runs. That's a lot of power. We bring in a lot of power if we got Anthony Santander. And he only wants 4 or 5 years. Nothing crazy. Meanwhile, Soto would want... 5 years isn't crazy either here. But that is a lot of money. Juan Soto, for someone who bat 280 last year. And he's not as good against lefties, but it's not a huge deal. Verdugo, Tyler O'Neill, Santander, great power. Yeah, Santander is very tempting. Back to just... and then looking at closing pitchers, Sir Anthony Dominguez, 3.24 ERA, had 7 saves last year. He wasn't a closer. Clay Holmes, 4.02 ERA, 1.52 from Paul Sewald. He's 34 years of age now, though. Some good ERAs from Barlow and Hendricks. It wouldn't be a crazy idea, but we do have an 85 overall closer right now. We'd be moving on from him. AJ Minter could even be a closer. He had 50 saves last year. Yeah, he had great numbers. AJ Minter is very interesting. But, I don't know, 5 years on a closer? Would that be crazy? If we're dishing out like 12 mil a year to a closer? I don't know. Starting pitchers don't even need to look at. But definitely first base. I think that's something we definitely want to fill. Pete Alonso. Would he leave the New York Mets? I don't know. He's out of a contract. They're not offering him enough money. $70 million for 6 years. 70.2 they're offering him. So they're currently offering him 11.7 per year. We could go 5. We could keep 6 years. Polar Bear Pete. We could go up to even $75 million. Pay him 12.5 per year for 6 years. Like we can withdraw the offer here just to say, look at the interest level, right? $75 million for 6 years on Pete Alonso. That could be interesting. Paul Goldschmidt, meanwhile, he's 37. Contact's going down, power's going down, but he did bat 282 last season. 18 home runs. I don't know about Paul Goldschmidt. Christian Walker, he's also 34. Brandon Drury. I think Pete Alonso's the guy. Now the question is, can we get him to sign? Would he be interested just in... Actually, he wants 5 years. Well, I don't know. He wants 5 years, or that's the suggestion. If I offer you 6 years, that's $80 million, let's say. A solid $13.3 million per year. I think that's a fair deal. That's not crazy overpayment either, I don't think. He did only bat 264 last season, but he had 42 home runs. We'd be a team of power if we get Alonso, Santander, Reynolds. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of power. So I think I'm going to go ahead and offer this. We can always withdraw it if we don't like it. But I'm going to offer 6 years, $80 million on Pete Alonso. If that, and again, I have to withdraw just to look at what our payroll would be. That would now allow us to be able to have $92 million in our surplus. With $92 million in our surplus, we can go over to the outfielders. I don't know if I want to give $30 million a year to Juan Soto, as good as he is. $30 million a year to Juan Soto versus like what? 6.3 a year to Santander. Maybe it was just a one good year type of thing, as he had 24. I don't know. His average has always been pretty low, but he has power out there. I think Santander would probably be the guy in right field. I'd be interested in getting him. We call him a star. He's currently getting offered 4 years, 21.6. So 21.6. He's currently getting offered 5.4 per year. I'll give you 5 years and give you 6 per year. How about that? Actually, you're not even that interested. I'll give you 5 years, and I'll give you 5 years, $7 million per season. So there you go. The interest is much higher. Now we got to keep an eye on other teams that may be trying to swoop in. But 5 years, $35 million on Santander, and 6 years, $80 million on Pete Alonso. We're big fish now. We got big money, and there are big players who want to sign with us. That would be great. Now, do we look at bringing in a different closer? AJ Minter. He's great. I love AJ Minter. 50 saves, 48 the year before. Great ERA. I would love AJ Minter, but can we excuse $11 million per year on AJ Minter? Dominguez wants 8.9. Holmes wants 5.3. Can we excuse 11 plus million per year on Minter when we currently have an 85 overall who's great and got 36 saves himself, 1.93 ERA, incredibly low ERA, making 2.7 million, but he blew it in the postseason. He blew the postseason. We got eliminated because of him, but he's 85 overall, making 2.7 million for 2 more years, and has even better numbers than Minter. That's at 46 innings pitched. If I go over to free agency, wrong way. How many innings pitched? 53 and 2/3 innings pitched. I don't know. Do we stay with Bard, who we're disgusted with, who has the better numbers and similar number of saves in a few less innings? Or do we go with Minter, who costs twice as much? We get to have him for 5 years as opposed to Bard for 2 years. He's 2 overall higher, but he does cost a lot more. Tough call. I think we stay barred. If it was just the money, I'd say forget it. But it's the money, and he's much better. Not much better. He is better. His numbers have been better. So I think we'll stay like that. Let's see who signs. We have a lot of things to figure out here. Let's see what happens, and then we'll go from there. Let's advance a day. Pete Alonso's on board. Only took him a day to think about it. 6 years, $80 million. Big Pete, Polar Bear Pete's on board. Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pete, the Polar Bear Pirate. Whoo! How about that to kick off the offseason? Pete Alonso, welcome to Pittsburgh. That's huge right there. Wow. So that's the only thing that happened. Nothing else happened aside from Brendan Woodruff re-signing with the Brewers. Wheat, there he is. Advanced another couple days. Hunter Renfroe traded to the Rays from the Diamondbacks for Logan Allen and Rafael Cisneros. Interesting. So let's stop here. We've re-signed Brian Reynolds to a 1-year, $9.5 million contract. Great. We have him on board. Arbitration, we're still waiting on Allard and Brubaker. We have until November 23rd, so still a little bit of time to think about that. Tender contracts, these guys have still been offered a contract and still aren't answering yet, but most of our players have answered. Good. And free agency, we're waiting on Santander, Lopez, and Garcia. All right, let's keep on simulating a few more days. Corbin Burns signs with the Cardinals. Danny Jansen signing with the Mets. And Santander signs with the Pirates. Huge power. 48 home runs from him. 42 from Pete? Close to 100 home runs joining us this offseason. A lot of power coming to Pittsburgh. When the Bats went weak last offseason, or last postseason, sorry, we now have a lot of power joining us. Big, big news in Pittsburgh. Woo! Still waiting on Brubaker. Still waiting on Lopez as well. Everyone else seems to be good to go. If we go to tender contracts, we're still waiting on these guys, eh? 740. They don't like this guy doesn't like 70K. Here you go, Jared Jones, 80K. This guy doesn't like 740. Here you go, 7. Who even are you? Cal Mitchell. Here, 800. I'm feeling generous. 800. These guys both have good contract offers, and everyone else we're going to let walk. So we could use a couple relief pitchers in the system if we want to go ahead and sign some guys in free agency, maybe who have potential. If we go ahead and scroll down to some guys down here, like I know Ottavino, I'm looking at potential and youth. Aaron Liu, legend. David Robertson. No, these are all guys who have potential. Excuse me, they all have potential because they're older. Archie Bradley's still out here? Wow, Archie Bradley. I thought he was going to be like 37 or something. Anyone we could just throw in the organization? No one even that crazy, eh? Diekman, Chapman's there. Abraham Escobar, 22 years of age, deep potential. Why not? Daniel Norris. Peter Arrington. Wasn't Daniel Norris really good for a couple of years? Over here, maybe? Yeah, Daniel Norris. Wasn't he a part of the... Wasn't he on the Blue Jays at one point as well? Peter Arrington, I'll sign him. 50K. Sean Doolittle. Wow, look at all these names down here. Drew Pomeranz. Whoa. Legends. Okay. And we're still waiting on, what's his name? Reynaldo Lopez. Is it because we offered him, is it that 20? Yeah, we have tendered him a qualifying offer. Can I not withdraw the qualifying offer? Now it's too late, eh? Yeah, we got Pete and Santander, buddy. We got him. Lopez. I want you to sign before you sign that crazy 20 million thing there. Let me go. You'll be bullpen. Let's overpay a little bit. We have the money. Let's overpay a little bit for 2 years. Whatever gives him full interest. Come on. Okay, full interest. 2 years at 11.5 for Reynaldo Lopez. Come on, sign that contract, buddy. I don't want to have to play games with you. Advance a few more days. Everyone's in salary arbitration taken care of. Tender contracts. Still waiting on Cal Mitchell. Everyone else is good. As a Mets fan, but I don't care. Polar Bear Pete will be a beast. If you don't know Polar Bear... Yeah, Polar Bear Pete. Yeah, I know that name. And Lopez signed. Beautiful. Okay. So I think that's really everyone that we were really looking at. If we look at the depth chart now, this is a much scarier team out here. Happ, Reynolds, Santander, Hayes, O'Neal Cruz, Rojas, and Alonso. The pitching rotation is De Silva, Flaherty, Eichhoff, Allard, Brubaker, Hernandez. They're all in there. DH got G-Man Choi and Andrew McCutcheon. Relief pitching, Bednar, Contreras, Hicks, Keller, Lopez, Underwood Jr. The catcher's position is still a bit weak with Davis and, what's his name, Rodriguez. But we do have to consider that these are guys with high potential who are going to grow. You know, as we see over time, Davis, we have to give him a contract. But Rodriguez, by 2029, is an 86. So I think that pretty much does it. Oh, we missed the chance to rebrand, unfortunately. We'll have to do it after this next season. I think that pretty much does it for moves we want to make here in this offseason. Selecting the 40-man roster. Anyone who we really want to put on there? Jared Jones, maybe? We already have 40 on the... we already have a full 40-man roster, though. So I wouldn't mind losing any of these guys, really. None of them have crazy high overall. I wouldn't mind missing any of those guys. It's still tempting to see so many crazy names in free agency. But I think that's about it. So let's sim to free agency 2. Twins want to offer us a trade. Let's see it. Jared Triolo, we'd give him up. Third baseman. They want us to trade Triolo. 72 overall, 27 years of age. In exchange for a starting pitcher, Randy Dobnak. Not a bad deal. Making $2 million. Hasn't pitched at all in the last couple seasons, actually. Wow. B potential, though. Ks per 9 at 43. And we have a full rotation. Our rotation's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there with Keller trying to squeeze in. So, no, just doesn't fit our needs. 40-man must be set. We're good to go. Trade talks. Still waiting on free agency. Anybody else out there? No. Let's go ahead and sim to free agency 3. And then free agency 4, whatever else these things are called. We have 95 players in the organization. So we have to release 2 players. Well, do these guys count? Who I'm still waiting if they sign or not? Can I please release you? I want to do that. If I go to our roster and I just scroll to the bottom, who would we want to release? Like Hinojo, I re-signed him with 48 overall, 24 years of age, despite the C potential. Probably go ahead and release him. Costs us $52,500. We can live with that. And probably John O'Reilly, I suppose. 29 years of age, 54 overall, D potential. John O'Reilly. 50, 60. Those guys are younger, though. Yeah, that'll cost us $37,500. No hard feelings, guys. I'm sorry about that. Last day for salary arbitration. We're good. Yes, we are. Sim to free agency 3. Sim to free agency 4. Pablo Lopez signing with the Nats. Yes, stop simulating for a moment here. We're good. These guys who didn't want to sign are all going to walk. We have our 93 players, whatever you want to call it. Our rankings are pretty solid out here as well. Sim to free agency 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever you want to call it. Sim to the winter meetings. Sir Anthony Dominguez signs with the Dodgers. Mike Soroka signs with the Nats. Look at that. Rafael Devers getting traded to the New York Mets for Edwin Diaz and Boyce Bowen. Wow, we didn't want that Dabrowski-Ego. My goodness. Who's still out here in free agency? Juan Soto's still out here. He's been offered 6 years, $133 million by the Twins. Willie Adames is also out here. Too bad we have O'Neal Cruz at shortstop. We're good. AJ Minter still out here. 5 years, $43 million is what he's being offered right now. So definitely, that's a lot less than we were looking at before. AJ Minter. Now he's even more at $11 million. He's even more tempting now. Goldschmidt's still out here. Sewald's still out here. Liam Hendricks is still out here. Stroman. AJ Minter. AJ Minter. Would he sign for... He likes 2 years? Because his contract demands go much lower. Would he want to join in the bullpen? Probably not. Nah, it doesn't make sense. We have a closer. As disgusted as I am with Bard... Yeah, let's go to the Rule 5 draft now. Let's see, are we going to be choosing anyone in the Rule 5 draft? Yeah, now Bard's numbers were, he had a 1.93 ERA versus Minter's 3-point-something. Both great, but he is much cheaper, already under contract, and had better numbers. So it's just my disgust that's thinking about kicking him off the team. Any of our guys going here? Doesn't look like it. Jared Jones, actually. Jared Jones was one of our guys. Not the end of the world. And I had no... Oh, actually, because we had no room to put anyone on our team. Should have released someone in anticipation of that. But I don't know. I don't think anyone would have really. I don't think we would have been able to select anybody. We have so many good players. So Jared Jones gets selected. He was, I believe, in our organization. 70 overall, 23 years of age. Does he look good? I'm not going to lie. He looks okay. But I doubt he would have ever become anything more than a double-A pitcher for us. So good luck with the White Sox. Exit the Rule 5 draft. Still out there in free agency. Sim 2 arbitration hearings. Willie Adames goes to the Giants, 5 years, 56.5. AJ Minter goes to the Dodgers. He's going to get $8.8 million per year. Makes sense. Get 8.8 and be the closer for 5 years with the Dodgers, not 2 years with the Pirates for whatever we were going to try to offer him. Juan Soto ends up going to the Twins, getting paid $22.3 million per year. There goes that $30 million that he wanted. 6 years, $133.8 million for Juan Soto. Clayton Kershaw, 1 year, $24 million with the Houston Astros. Alex Bregman, 5 years, $55 million with the Marlins. Oh boy. Who's still out here in free agency? Paul Goldschmidt, Gene Segura, pretty much just Goldschmidt, who's the biggest guy still out here. What would he even be wanting? He'd want 1 year, $10 million. Yeah, not going to happen. Sorry, buddy. Let's sim to renewable contracts. Thankfully, not too much to do in this free agent in this offseason. Sim to spring training. And here we are. So let's go ahead and get through spring training. Then we'll go ahead and call it an episode. It won't be the longest of episodes here. Let's see how we're looking headed into this season. Let's start with the pitching rotation. Pitching rotation, we have Gary DeSilva, who was second runner-up for the Cy Young, the NL Cy Young, and he was the NL Rookie of the Year. Gary DeSilva, now 20 years of age. He's an 85 overall. He'll be our ace. Jack Flaherty is behind him at an 84 overall. 2 more years on his contract. Jared Eichhoff at a 79. Colby Allard at a 77. Actually, Contreras, he's a starting pitcher. Yeah, Contreras would be here. Yeah, Brubaker, Keller would be there. Yeah, I think that would actually be our starting rotation. Contreras, as an 81, would come out of long relief, and he'd actually play... Actually, he pitched a lot of innings last year. Eichhoff, and then Colby Allard. In the long relief, we have Brubaker, Keller, probably those two as our long relief pitchers. Obviously, right now, the rosters are extended because it is spring training. Bednar as the closer. Hicks as the setup man. We need less relief pitchers. That's what I realized last season. Hicks, we signed him for $4.8 million. He pitched 17 innings. Makes no sense. I don't know. We have too many relief pitchers, I suppose. So we're gonna have more bats this season. That's where the bats come in. Connor Joe, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and let the game set the rosters for the what's it called, for spring training. Sorry. Mode specific. Lineups and rotations, auto. Yes. Because I don't mind what happens during the spring training. So back to here. So Connor Joe, 71 overall. He's going to be platoon this season. Hap still at an 83. He had an incredible first year with us last season. 32 home runs, batting .285. Our outfield is hitting like hundreds of home runs. Reynolds, 92 overall. He'll be in free agency next year, so he's going to get his big $30 million contract next season. He bat .330 last year with 46 home runs. Highest batting WAR in the entire MLB. Incredible. Speaking of WAR, Gary DeSilva, the highest pitching WAR in the MLB as well. Or no, in the NL, I believe it was. O'Neal Cruz up to an 86 overall. He was okay last year. Bit of a step back in the batting average. 4 less home runs as well. So hopefully he can recapture that year one magic. Cabrian Hayes, 85 overall. He bat .268 last year. I liked what he was showing us after .262 in that first season that we took over. Rojas is still a 78. G-Man Choi, 65, platoon, of course. Henry Davis, our everyday catcher with B potential, first overall pick back in the day. He's now 25 years of age. I want to see him really run with it this year. He bat .266 last year. Very good, very good. McCutcheon, 63. Pete Alonso at a 92 overall. Anthony Santander at an 86 overall. So 48 home runs plus 42 home runs plus Reynolds with 46 home runs. Crazy. Drayden, when's the next Penguins episode coming out? It was going to be tomorrow, but unfortunately there was an EA voodoo mess that took place. So I have to re-record the episode, likely tonight after I'm done recording, after I'm done the live stream. So maybe I can get it done early tomorrow morning and it's out in the afternoon, but I would think probably Sunday or Monday. I don't usually upload on Sunday. I'd probably say Monday. Monday at the absolute latest, earliest tomorrow afternoon. Aside from that, so Triolo's here, Frazier, Bay, a lot of guys who probably won't make it. Just we'll see a little bit of them in spring training. Rodolfo Castro, I'd like him to make the team this season. He was a platoon guy last year, bat 214, was not impressed with him. So we'll see what happens. We'll let the game do what it wants to in the preseason. We're going to go ahead and play our next game. Can I say auto for the rosters here? If I want to go ahead and just watch this game, play next game, quick manage. Let's go ahead and see the first game of the 2025 spring training season. And there we go. So here are Gary DeSilva on the mound. Let's get this party started. Let's fly through. Solo bomb to start off. Great. Fly through this game. No runs. Well, actually, there's our first run in the bottom of the fourth. Sixth inning, nothing. So here are top of the seventh. Nothing. Either side. So here we're down 2-1. Top of the eighth, Gary DeSilva, 7 innings, 7 strikeouts. He did well, buddy, but we want to see some other guys out here. Let's get Quinn Priester. Let's see what he can do. Let's go ahead and do that. Walk, fly out, pinch hitter, single, pinch hitter, strikeout, pinch hitter, fielder's choice. All right, Josh Rojas, 0 for 3 on the day. We're going to pinch hit for you and bring in Tamar Johnson. Johnson, substitution. There we go, eh? Walks, great. Brian Hayes, 0 for 3 on the day. We're going to bring in Triolo, who strikes out. Reynolds strikes out. Santander pops up. All right. And here to close it out or just finish it off, let's bring in Hicks. Let's see what you got, Jordan Hicks. Fly out, double, pop up. All right, here we go. O'Neal Cruz. To get us, we just need 1 run. Cruz walks. That's great. Ian Happ, you're 0 for 3 on the day. Good contact against lefties. There's got a righty. Let's go ahead and pinch hit. Let's bring in Pete Alonso for his first spring training at bat. Fielder's choice. He gets on first. Connor Joe, 2 for 3 on the day. He flies out. And G-Man Choi DHing. Let's bring in McCutcheon. Let's do it. 1 run's all we need. And I think that's a strikeout. Great. And we lose 2-1. Tough. Nothing much happening in that one. All right, let's just fly through some of the preseason. And we'll see what... and the lineups were set, correct? Yes. Because, yeah, Alonso's in there. Not looking pretty out here in spring training. Let's go see... Who do we want to go see? Let's go see the Blue Jays. Let's go see the Blue Jays. We're 7-12. Wow. 7-12. Josh Rojas batting 173 at 52 at-bats. Hayes 308. Reynolds 216. Alonso 226, 269, 239, 237, 156, 224. Oh my goodness. Horrible batting averages here. And what's up with the pitching? 1.73 ERA. That's good. Flaherty, so. Contreras, 8.4 ERA. Jeff McNeil. Now, it would be interesting, but fielding doesn't do much in the simulation. But we could look at it. And Allard, good numbers from Allard. How are guys doing down here? Weiss hasn't pitched at all. Bednar, 4 innings, 4 strikeouts. Yeah, I'm not impressed really with the pitching out here. But guys like Kranick, all these guys are not going to be actually out here in the regular season. So let's go see the Blue Jays. I will actually look at McNeil here for the resident Mets fan. Let's go ahead and check out Jeff McNeil. He is 83 overall, making 12.5 for 2 more years. Good contact, bat 281 last season. If I asked New York, what do you want? They want Frazier, Ortiz, and Triolo. We could definitely do that trade. That's not bad at all. But I want to be giving up a second baseman going back the other way, right? Tamar Johnson is our future guy. It would be Rojas going back the other way. I give you Triolo as well. Yeah, in a perfect world, we get whoever we want whenever we want. But the thing is, I don't know if I want Jeff McNeil here at second base when Tamar Johnson, with his A potential, is actually going to be our everyday second baseman. McNeil could play first. Alonso's there. Could play third. Brian Hayes is there. And outfield, we have the outfielder, our big outfielders. So he'd be like a platoon guy. I don't know. Yeah, but right field is Santander. Santander would be there. Plus, it feels like a pretty cheese trade. I doubt they want to do that. But if we did, hold on. McNeil for Rojas, who's batting like 169 or something. Where do we have too many of? We have a lot of first basemen. I can give you one of these guys. And then just someone down here in the system. No, they don't like that, Mojica. Basantino. And Triolo. They'd want to do that. Basantino. Can I just bring someone else, actually? DeVarco, they'd want to do that. It has deep potential. Chen, they would do that. Deep potential Chen. Even Samyang, yeah, they do that. They would do that. So that's the thing. Do we want Jeff McNeil, but would it make sense to actually bring in Jeff McNeil? The Mets would now have Rojas as their second baseman, and they'd get a couple of low-level prospects. I don't know if it really makes sense they want to do that. The Mets are a win-now team. They just brought in Danny Jansen on big money as well. I don't know if it makes a ton of sense. I know it's fun to want to do that. I'm going to leave it in the back of our minds while we go through the rest of spring training. The trade's not going anywhere. But I don't know. I feel like our team is pretty much set in terms of the bats. Right, but does McNeil want to get paid $12.5 million to be a platoon guy as an 83 overall? I don't know. Rojas, yeah, let's auto replace him. He's been terrible. Okay, so let's get through this game. Let's fly through, get a run. Thank goodness. Let's just get through the spring training before we start making more decisions. We can always discuss this in the Discord server further as we're going to be wrapping up the episode soon. All right, top of the 7th inning. We're up 2-0. Brian Hayes is 1 for 3 on the day. Let's bring in... speaking of Triolo, let's bring him in. Why not? Triolo, let's see what he does. He grounds out. Reynolds, let's bring in McCutchen. He singles, that's great. Big Pete, sack bunt, gets McCutchen over to second. O'Neal Cruz walks. Santander flies out. Colby Allard, he's tired. He's been amazing. He's given up only 4 hits through 6 innings. We're going to go ahead and bring in Mitch Keller now. Let's see an inning from him. Strikeout, single, double play. Great. Ian Happ singles. Tamar Johnson strikes out. Rodriguez flies out. Castro flies out. Amazing. Let's see some guys we haven't seen a lot from, like Weiss over here. Let's see Ryan Weiss. Let's see what he can do. Walk. 2 runs scored. Strikeout. Oh, pinch. Strikeout. So he gives up 2 runs to tie the game, and then he strikes out like 3 in a row. So at least there's that. Okay. Triolo, yeah, substitution. Singles, that's good. McCutchen sack bunts Triolo over to second. Alonso grounds out. Cruz strikes out. Beautiful. Let's bring in Lopez. Ground out, fly out. All right, 10th inning now. Santander 0 for 4 on the day. Let's go ahead and bring in Lolo Sanchez. Lolo Sanchez gets the single over, gets O'Neal Cruz over to second as well. Runners on the corners now. Ian Happ, just give me a nice sack fly, buddy. Thank goodness, we're up 3-2. Johnson walks. Rodriguez double play. Okay, let's close it out here with Garcia. Let's close it out with Garcia. Let's see how he does. Sack bunt gets him over to third. Furman strikes out. Lantigua. There you go. A walk-off bomb, right? No, a strikeout. Great. I hate when it always glitches. Not glitches, just lags. Pete Alonso, player of the game, and we win this one 3-2 in extra innings. All right. Keep on going through the rest of spring training. Last game of spring training, correct? Yes, it is here against the Boston Red Sox. We are, what's our record? 12-14. We're ranked 11th in the league, but things haven't necessarily been going our way. I wouldn't say things are great. Rojas, 157. Like, he definitely should not be leadoff, but I'm just going to leave the computer to do what it wants during spring training. I think that probably goes into the team not doing very well. Makes sense. Can I make roster decisions now? Like, if I say, like, relief pitchers go down... I can move them down now to anticipate, or is there a minimum that I have to have? Whatever. Let's just sim through this last game. We win 11-2. Hey, look at that. All right, now we're ready to make some roster changes, correct? Can I sim to regular season? What do I have to do over here? You can look at contract extensions too. Look at Brian Reynolds. He wants his $31 million right now, so could go long term till the age of 44. No, I'm not going to look at these right now. I'm going to look at these at a later time. Free agency, what's his name, must have signed. Pending free agents in 2026, Zach Gallen, Tommy Edman, Brian Reynolds, Ryan Helsley, Nico Horner, Michael King, Logan Webb, Dustin May, Bo Bichette. I saw Vlad Guerrero Jr., Jordan Romano, Mitch Haniger, Jose Urquidy. So many different guys. I guess since regular season. There you go. All right, here we are against the Cubs, and now let me guess. It did all the things for me. There you go. It did it all for me, even though I didn't want that. All right, so the starting rotation, the starting pitchers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mitch Keller can stay there in long relief. Quinn Priester can be in AAA. Edgar Hernandez can go in AA. Brubaker, he can also stay in the MLB, excuse me. I think that's okay. Patrick Sandoval, I think we'll put him in AA. Patrick Sandoval in AA. Yeah. Relief pitching. Hicks, Lopez, Dwayne Underwood Jr. Garcia was good last year. Oviedo did not play. Oviedo, I'm going to keep him in AAA for now, while Garcia can stay. AAA needs some relief pitching too, so Johan Ramirez will also be in AAA. I think 4 relief plus a closer. I think that's fair enough, plus long relief. I want these guys to be pitching, you know? Garcia can stay, so 1, 2, 3 in AAA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too many in AA. It's a bit laggy here, I find, as well. AAA. Isert can go up to AAA. Arrington can go to AA. And then some of these guys down in AA, like Taribo, can go down to single A. Can go down to single A. Why was he in AAA? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 in AAA. That's fair. Closing pitchers, MLB. Why is this guy, Antonio Ramirez, a potential? Why is he sitting in single A? Move him up to AAA. Bang. Mendoza can go to, he can go to, he's in AA. And Piguero can go down to single A. There you go, from AAA to single A. Catchers are 2 guys in the MLB. We have Leach and Conrad. Conrad, one of our draftees, both playing. Actually, Conrad, yeah, he can be the everyday guy in AA, while Leach and Gutierrez can play in AAA. First base, Philip Kershaw, one of our draft picks as well. I want to put him in AA with his overall. I think he can play AA. Ji-Man Choi, I want him in the MLB, and we could fit him in the MLB. Yeah, let's move him up to the MLB. Ji-Man Choi up here with Pete Alonso. Mason Martin's down there. Gonzalez there. Crosby and Matheson can go to single A. Yep. Second base, Castro, Johnson, good. Gonzalez, Marcano, AAA. Jarvis, AA. AAA. Third baseman. Hayes, Rojas, both in the MLB. Triolo, Alvarez in AAA. Nunez, yeah, and Ordonez can go down to single A. Shortstop, Cruz, Bay, Piguero, Escoto, Padilla, yeah. Left field, Connor Joe can stay. Jigba, Matt Frazier, we're going to move him down, I think. Matt Frazier can go down to AAA. That'll use one of his options, it's fine. And there you go. Right fielders, Fairchild, Cal Mitchell. Why is McCutcheon on waivers? I hate when they do these things and I don't tell them to. I'll have to wait a day on McCutcheon then, I guess. See if he gets claimed or whatever. But we're definitely going to get him back. We're definitely not going to lose him. Fairchild, AAA. Mitchell, AA. Sanchez, AAA. Scott, also AAA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outfielders? No, that's too much. Fairchild can go to AA. He can tear it up in AA with Mitchell. Then Chavez Young can go down to Class A. There you go. I want to get McCutcheon back up here as well. And there you go. MLB roster will add one more. The AAA roster and AA roster could use a few more pieces. Maybe we can acquire those through trades or free agency in the near future. Maybe we can trade somebody who we don't want to use, who's a fringe guy, like a G1 Bay or a Matt Frazier. Like Matt Frazier. What can we get for Matt Frazier? Can we get a couple of pieces in the system. If I want prospects, can I get a couple C prospects for Frazier? What do you have for me, Trade Finder? Taking a long time. Should be a few trades. All right, so we can go Max Wagner from the Orioles. An A-rated pitcher, really. A potential pitcher, that is. Here, we can get a closing pitcher and a relief pitcher. Nah. I want some, a second baseman, a starting pitcher, relief pitcher, and a right fielder. Too many outfielders. Here, first base and third base. I don't like those potentials, though. Right field, first base, and relief pitcher. That would just be filled. That would just be for bodies, though. Do we need bodies? Do we just need bodies, or can I go for a couple guys? 62 and 54. What position do we need in AAA and AA and all this? Everyone seems to be, if we look at the depth chart there on the right, AAA, MLB, the numbers are fairly similar. 2 and 2, 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 7 and 5 for starting pitchers. 2 and 1 for first baseman. So maybe another first baseman? Or I can just go ahead and call one up from AA. Like Jacob Gonzalez could go up there. Is that just too much for him? What about in free agency? Who's out there? Who's still out here? Free agency. Brandon Belt to go play in AAA. You want to play AAA Brandon Belt? No, he wants too much money. Tyler Nevin? You want to play AAA? No, probably not. Yoshi Tsugo, legend. From Japan? Yeah, from Japan. Hard to say. Review sponsorships, by the way, while we're here. In-game tracker, Nike Gold, active replay, Birdman, there you go. 30,000 per win, 2,500 per strikeout. That'll help out with the money. The budget's looking good. We have a $31 million surplus. There's $36 million available in the budget. Good to see. But I think we'd probably trade Kranick. I don't know. I mean, Frazier, that is. Frazier. Who else do we have? A lot of. We have a lot of right fielders, like Chavez Young. What's another? Yeah, that's fine. Can I get three prospects for these 2 prospects? After this, we'll probably we'll do the first game of the season, and then we'll probably wrap it there. Takes a long time to get these trades going. Come on. There's a lot of deals around the league that people want to offer us. Never seen it take this long, actually, though. Can I exit out, or... My goodness. Finding trades. Chavez Young. Okay, here we go. Can I get 3? I don't want just pitchers, though. So, like, we could get a B potential guy. That wouldn't make sense. A team wouldn't trade a good prospect like that. A catcher, a first baseman, and a relief pitcher. A first baseman would be good. We were looking at that. B potential's nice. Catcher, we don't necessarily need a catcher or a relief pitcher. Shortstop, center field, that's not bad. And relief pitcher. This is interesting from the Yankees. Let's keep that one in mind. Yankees with the best offer so far. Center fielder, first baseman, and shortstop. 3 bats. I like the 3 bats. But we could use a starting pitcher would be a good one. A trade that includes a starting pitcher and a first baseman. Let's look for that. Any trade that includes a starting pitcher and a first baseman. Here we go. Velasquez, Diaz, a potential, but young. Probably won't pan out. Let's just do this with the Royals before we break our heads looking at a million different trades. Frazier and Young going to the Royals in exchange for Velasquez, Wilson, and Diaz. Thank you, Royals. Sounds like a good deal to us. Thank you very much. Let's do that. That ends off. That's our final trade that we'll do here. So those 2 guys that we got. First baseman. What's his name? Diaz. Hold on. So Kershaw, Martin, and Gonzalez. Not ideal, but they will be the AAA guys. Or, you know what? Let's just put Kershaw up there. I know he's only 18, but he has the stats to do it. All right. He's our everyday AAA first baseman. And Mason Martin will also be there. AA, Gonzalez and Matheson. And then single A, Crosby and Diaz. And we'll see if those 2 guys can grow. 2 guys who are young and have good potential, but very low overalls. We'll see what happens with them. Okay, great. There's the first baseman. We also picked up an outfielder, correct? I already forget what the trade was. My goodness. Uh, where's the transactions? Completed transactions. Goldschmidt signed. I didn't see that. Acquired starting pitcher and second baseman. It said it was a first baseman. Wilson, that's not. Yeah, Diaz, Wilson, Velasquez. What? Huh? Where are these guys? They're not where they should be. Velasquez, thank you for bearing with me here through all this, me breaking my head here. He can go to Double-A. Someone from Double-A can go to Triple-A. Let's put this guy with his crazy last name. He can go up to Triple-A. There's 25 in Triple-A. Edgar Hernandez is going to stay as the ace in Double-A. So who's in Double-A now? In Double-A, we now have 1, 2, 3. That's not even enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in AAA. In AA, 1, 2, 3. So I gotta sign some AAA, some AA starting pitchers. There's no one in free agency. What? What a scam. So now you gotta go back. What do we have too many of? Relief pitchers? All these guys in single A? Can I trade you, like, can I go and trade Toribio and Samaniego? I guess. Oh my goodness. They really make you work here, eh? Let's trade some of these depth guys. Even Lingfelter, I suppose. All D guys. 3 relief pitchers for 3 starting pitchers. Anyone want to give me that? If I can find one. I'm trying to trade that includes a couple of starting pitchers. One there. One there. Cubs. Did I already go through all the teams? Basically. So I do it myself now. And then we want to do that. I could get 1 starting pitcher. I guess relief pitchers just have that little value. Wow. So I guess I will have to just try and get 1 relief pitch, 1 starting pitcher. So my options are Adrian Trejo from the Braves, Michael Watson from the Brewers, 23.51. That's it. 25.54 or 23.51? I guess 23.51. Michael Watson. There you go. Guess another starting pitcher in our system. My goodness. So in AAA, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then in AA, we'll move him over there. And then I'll have to move Chen up to AA, I suppose. So much housekeeping. Okay, Garrett can stay down in single A with his potential. Don't want to get buried or anything. Relief pitchers. I think we're good for the relief pitchers. Just trade some single A guys, so it shouldn't be a big deal. 25, 25, 25 in MLB, AAA, and AA. Yes. Okay, so we're good with that. Now what I want to do is play our first game of the year so we can get the McCutcheon stuff out of the way. I can make sure we know where he is. Mode specific, lineups and rotation back to manual, apply changes. Let's look at our lineup now. Right-hand pitcher, DH. Rojas was terrible, so he's not going to be our leadoff guy. Our everyday second baseman is going to be Rojas, though. And our DH would be probably like Connor Joe. Yeah, probably Connor Joe would be our everyday DH versus righties and lefties. So right-hand pitcher DH, Connor Joe. Left-hand pitcher DH, Connor Joe as well. But I want to get those other guys in the lineup. So Rojas would not be leadoff. Last year's leadoff was Connor Joe, I believe. Yeah, it was Connor Joe, but 64 contact. Anyone better without crazy power? Like Ian Happ maybe could be our leadoff guy, or O'Neal Cruz despite the power. Brian Hayes, less power. Maybe Hayes against lefties, maybe. Lefties, Hayes. Righties, Hap. Let's do that. So righty leadoff Hap. Rojas, bury him somewhere. Right-hand pitcher, no DH. So in the 2, we could go Tamar Johnson. Would that be crazy? Reynolds, Pete, Santander. That's the heart of the lineup right there. Unless we go Santander in 2. Reynolds, Alonso, Cruz, Johnson, Rojas. Rodriguez has 60-50 against righties. Davis, 57-45. So Davis, everyday lefty, I suppose. And then Rodriguez, everyday righty. That means he's going to be playing a little bit less. I don't like that. Let's go right-hand pitcher. I gotta give both some time, I suppose. Davis will come in against lefties. Davis against lefties. Righties will be... Rodriguez. Yeah. Okay, good. Right-hand pitcher DH. Hap leads off. Hayes, Reynolds, Alonso, Cruz, Santander, Rojas, Joe, Rodriguez. So Hap, Hayes, Reynolds. Hap. Hayes is on the bench here? They're putting Rojas over Hayes? No, Hayes is definitely here. Hap, Hayes, Reynolds, Alonso, Cruz, Santander. Alonso, Cruz, Santander. Then Rojas, Joe, Rodriguez. Now here it's Johnson instead. Johnson, 67-59. Nah, Rojas is better. You gotta put Rojas. But I want Johnson to play. If Johnson... Now, he has to play against righties. Yeah, Johnson stays against righties. Lefties will be where Rojas is in the lineup. Okay. So there we go. Johnson, Rodriguez, no DH. Rojas, Joe with a DH. Good. Left-hand pitchers now. Hayes will lead off. I'll still go Hayes. Hayes number 1. Reynolds, Alonso, Santander is still good. In the 2, 74 contact. Rojas I'll have him bat second against lefties only. And then after Alonso, we go Cruz, Santander. Cruz, not as good against lefties. So Cruz will be at the bottom of the lineup against lefties. With Hap being in the 5. Santander going 6 perhaps. Yeah, let's try that. Then Joe and Cruz. Okay, Hayes, Rojas, Reynolds. Alonso, Hap, Santander. Alonso, Hap, Santander. And then Joe, Cruz, Davis. Castro, Davis here instead. Castro, 68-89. Yeah, great power against lefties. That'll be the one time Castro can get into the lineup. That'll be the one time Cruz stays out of the lineup. Left-hand pitcher, no DH. To get Castro some at-bats. There we go. Then when we look at the pitching rotation, De Silva, Flaherty, Contreras, Eichhoff, and Allard, Keller and Brubaker in long relief, Reynaldo, Lopez, Underwood Jr., and Garcia in mid-relief, Hicks the setup, Bednar the closer. I like how that looks. Ladies and gentlemen, year number 3 in Pittsburgh. Let's get this season underway. It is after year number 1 where we finished below 500 but above expectations. Year number 2, we win the NL Central. We have 94 wins. We lose in the wild card. We get even stronger in the offseason. Let's rock and roll. It all starts here. Game 1, year 3, facing the Cubs. Gary De Silva on the mound, of course, at PNC Park. Let's do it. Play ball. Dansby Swanson at bat, grounds out. Pete Crow Armstrong flies out, and Seiya Suzuki singles. Eugenio Suarez strikes out. All right, Cabrian Hayes to open up the season here against Justin Steele, grounds out. Rojas flies out. Reynolds single. Big Pete, his first at bat as a Pirate, he strikes out. Jake Fraley strikeout. Morel single. Torrens double play. Ian Happ against his former team grounds out. Santander grounds out. His first at bat. Connor Joe singles. O'Neal Cruz. 2-run bomb for O'Neal Cruz. Who says he can't do it against lefties? 1-for-1. 2-run home run. How about that? Henry Davis strikes out, and we're up 2-0 through 2 innings. Mervis strikes out. Boat, he singles. Swanson pick off. Swanson pop up. There you go. Hayes flies out. Rojas walks. Reynolds singles. Runners on first and second for Alonso, who flies out. Ian Happ pops up. Crow Armstrong strikeout. Suzuki double. Pick off second pitch strikeout. Pick off second pitch fly out, and we get out of the inning. Bottom of the fourth, Santander flies out. Joe singles, he's 2 for 2. Cruz strikes out. Davis flies out. Morel grounds out. Torrens grounds out. Mervis pops up. Bottom of the fifth, Hayes 0 for 2 on the day, flies out. Rojas flies out. Reynolds singles 3 for 3 on the day. That's why he bat .330 last year. And Pete Alonso grounds out. Both ground out. Swanson strikeout. Crow Armstrong ground out. Bottom of the sixth, Ian Happ strikes out. Santander walks. There we go. Connor Joe, he's 2 for 3 now. He strikes out. O'Neill Cruz flies out. Suzuki fly out. Suarez walk. Fraley strikeout. Morel single. Runners on first and second with 2 outs for Torrens, who grounds out. Bottom of the seventh, Henry Davis. Now against Kyle Hendricks, who comes in. Swing, ground out. Hayes 0 for 3. He singles. Josh Rojas 0 for 2 on the day. Terrible spring training. Strikes out. Reynolds 3 for 3 on the day. Can we make it 4 for 4? Yes, he does! It's an RBI double as Brian Reynolds goes 4 for 4 on the day. How about that? We're up 3-0. Pete Alonso now 1-run score on the RBI single. His first hit and his first RBI as a Pirate. Ian Happ, can he keep it going? 2-run bomb for Ian Happ. He keeps it going. Kyle Hendricks getting chased out of there. Oh my. Single from Hayes. Double from Reynolds. RBI double. RBI single from Pete Alonso. And then a 2-run bomb from Ian Happ. We're up 6-0 in the bottom of the seventh. Pitching change for Santander. Error gets him to first. Connor Joe strikes out. Woo! Can Gary DeSilva get the complete game in the first game of the year? We'll see. Mervis pops up. Boat walks. Swanson strikeout. Crow Armstrong hit by pitch. Suzuki fly out. He gets out of the inning. O'Neill Cruz double. Leadoff double. Why not? Henry Davis flies out. Hayes walks. Rojas, you have not been impressing me. I will bring in Tamar Johnson. Swing. RBI single. The pinch hit single. RBI pinch hit single for Tamar Johnson. Runners on the corners now. Can Reynolds go 5 for 5 on the day? No, he cannot. Pete Alonso grounds out. We're up 7-0. De Silva has the energy. Let's do it. Suarez fly out. Fraley fly out. Morel ground out. Gary De Silva, who was tied for the MLB lead in complete games last season with 5, I believe, starts off his sophomore season with a complete game. Player of the game, 9 innings pitched, giving up only 5 hits, no runs, the complete game shutout, giving up 2 walks and striking out 8 batters. Gary De Silva. Oh my goodness, Gary De Silva. Now, can I go and get McCutchen here? McCutchen, he's still on waivers. I don't know what this is. I don't want to designate him for assignment. I want him to be on my team. Can I go another day? Is he back now? Right field? Still not. So I guess we'll have to wait on that. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and stop there. Next episode, we'll get started on the scouting. And that's about it. We'll get started on scouting. We'll get through the first half of the season. A great start. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments if you have any. What do you think about these lineups? Any thoughts on the lineups? Our platoon isn't amazing. Our depth batting isn't crazy. But we definitely have some support now with Pete Alonso and Anthony Santander in the lineup. What do we think about these lineups? What do we think about our pitching? And should we consider any trades? If yes, what position and or player? That is our lineup and our rotation to start the year. Free agents, not much out there. Amelis Diaz, Gene Segura, Tyler Wade, Jose Iglesias, AJ Pollock. There are some names, but no one too wild out there, I'd say, for free agents. If we look at the trade blocks around the MLB, there's no one right now. So makes sense that no one that really wants to do make any crazy trades at the moment. And there you have it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll go ahead and call it there. Thank you for joining us for another live stream this evening as we got through the 2024 off-season. Next week, same time, same channel, we'll be back for episode number 8 with the Pirates as we'll run through from the end of March / start of April here, all the way to the end of August, start of September. We'll go ahead and do the bulk of the 2025 season with the Pirates. I hope to see you there, whether it be live or after the fact. Leave a like if you're watching live or after and you enjoyed the offseason. You like those big signings. Thumbs up for Big Polar Bear Pete and Anthony Santander. And as well, be sure to subscribe to not miss out on any of our franchise mode uploads, whether it be live or recorded on NHL 23, MLB The Show 23, and much, much more here on the channel. Join us on the Discord server, link in the description, and I'll go ahead and call it there. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you for joining me this evening. Let's go Pirates! Looking forward to next week's stream in the 2025 season, where we are poised to be contenders. Good night, everybody.